Bobby, I know that you articulate the preparation of an intervention and the implementation of an intervention around four major points. And so we're going to take the first one, which is what you call the root problem. So
Right.
talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, one of the things about it when dealing with an addict, a lot of times they'll tell you, even though they have a raging problem with substance abuse, with substance abuse, they'll tell you, "I don't have a substance abuse problem. I can stop anytime I want." All right. And my next question is, all right, well, how's your life going? And they'll say, well, it's terrible. Okay, well, what's going on? And they'll tell you, well, I don't feel well, or there's always some other problem that they could have. A lot of times they're taking the drug to solve that problem. I've had, as an example, I did an intervention, I tell this story quite often, but let's get out in Hawaii was out there, and he obviously had a huge alcohol and pill problem, but, to him, he's like, I don't have a problem with that, but I do hate people. His problem was society as a whole. And I'm like, well, okay, so if I could help you with that, would you be interested in treatment? He said, yeah, how are you going to help me with that? So I started explaining to him how the treatment program was going to help him with that. And he became very interested at that point. So we want to identify all the problems that the person has that they might be using the drugs or alcohol to solve. If we can do that, then we are likely to have a good, positive discourse or conversation with this person as a result of, in trying to get him to get help.
Do you find that this going to the root problem, you have to go through a number of fancied problems, like I have this problem, but they don't touch anything real. And then digging in, you get more to the thing. Is that part of the routine, or is it a different process?
Well, that's a great question, actually, because sometimes people will give you unsolvable problems. In other words, they'll give you a reason why there's absolutely no way that you can solve it. So the only excuse is to continue to use drugs or alcohol. And you obviously at that point know, well, this person has got, and it could be legitimate, but most of the time it's not. And it's usually what I call, it's the addiction talking for the person. What they're saying does not make any sense. And although the person is doing all the talking, and you look at the person and you think have somewhat of, some sense about them, which I'm sure they do. I'm not to say they don't, but they're addicted to drugs, and so the drugs and the addiction is doing all the talking for them at that point. So it's good. That's a great question, because now you can separate that from. You can kind of, it helps the family and friends know, well, what's really going on, because they've been having all these discussions with the person, and it's been very confusing and very chaotic and very trying, and drains the person. So, the family.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, so that behooves you to find out the root cause, the root problem of this guy or
Right.
this person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you're digging in there and having these conversations, and you can kind of find out, and you can see where you're at. But if you know ahead of time, the family, you can actually see a lot of times when we properly prepare for the intervention, that some of these things will start happening, and then the family will go, oh, okay, the light comes on, because now they know that, because they're ready, right? They're prepared for it.